figures revealed today show the alarming scale of child sex abuse church in Australia.
Bienvenido de nuevamente a JW Untold Truth o la verdad no contada. Hoy vamos a ver el caso de BCB o BCB. Este es el día 1, parte 2. En esta parte estaremos en ver la introducción de uno de los dos casos que dieron pruebas en el Australian Royal Commission. Así que vengan conmigo y veamos la introducción del caso BCB y veamos las partes destacadas de este caso.
I'll summarize first the case of BCB and then the case of BCG. A person given the pseudonym BCB began associating with Jehovah's Witnesses Church when she was 10 years old and was formally baptized as a Jehovah's Witness at age 18. Between 1980 and 1986, BCB regularly stayed overnight at the house of the Neal family, of whom the father was Bill Neal, one of two elders in the Narrogin congregation in Western Australia. BCB's evidence will be that she attended weekly Bible studies led by Bill Neal at the Narrogin Kingdom Hall and at Mr. Neal's house. From 15 years of age, BCB was groomed and sexually abused by Mr. Neal. BCB's evidence will be that Bill Neal remained a respected elder within the congregation whilst he continued to abuse BCB. Notwithstanding this abuse, it will be BCB's evidence that she continued to respect Mr. Neal and felt unable to disclose the abuse because of his position. It will be BCB's evidence that in about 1991 she disclosed Mr. Neal's abuse to a Jehovah's Witness acquaintance. Thereafter, the other elder in the congregation, Max Hawley, approached BCB about Mr. Neal's conduct. Mr. Hawley then arranged a meeting with Bill Neal, BCB, and BCB's husband. The Royal Commission will hear that during this meeting, BCB endured Bill Neal making inappropriate jokes about his conduct that was the subject of the meeting. It will be BCB's evidence that having to discuss her abuse in front of a room full of men, including the perpetrator, was very distressing. The Royal Commission will hear that BCB felt unable to report the full extent of Bill Neal's abuse at the meeting. Max Hawley organized the second meeting, which was attended by BCB, BCB's husband, Bill Neal, and Doug Jackson, who was the circuit overseer for the Narrogin congregation. During this meeting, Bill Neal lacked remorse and sought to blame BCB for wearing revealing clothing. It will be BCB's evidence that at both meetings she felt unsafe and uncomfortable disclosing the full extent of Bill Neal's abuse. Further, BCB's evidence will be that neither the purpose nor the outcome of the meetings was ever explained to her by the elders. The Royal Commission will hear evidence that following the committee meeting, Max Hawley discouraged BCB from further disclosures of abuse, quote, out of respect for the Neal family. BCB's evidence will be that she was left feeling unsupported by the congregation and was instead encouraged to respect her abuser. The Royal Commission will hear that Bill Neal stepped down as an elder, but that the grounds were not announced to the congregation. Notwithstanding abuse by Bill Neal, the Royal Commission will hear that BCB was still expected to attend Bible studies held at the Neal's house and continued to see Bill Neal several times a week at congregational meetings. The Royal Commission will hear that Bill Neal may have later been reappointed as an elder. BCB will give evidence that in about July 2014, after she had indicated that she was considering reporting her abuse to the Royal Commission, Joe Bellow, an elder in her congregation at the time, asked if BCB, quote, really wants to drag Jehovah's name through the mud. The Commission will hear evidence that BCB felt brainwashed into believing that speaking with worldly people would bring reproach upon Jehovah's name. BCB's evidence will be that by reporting her story, she is riddled with guilt for betraying the Jehovah's Witness Church. The Royal Commission will hear from 3 elders regarding their role in handling BCB's allegation of abuse against Bill Neal. Max Hawley served as an elder in the Narrogin congregation from 1988. he will give evidence regarding his involvement in handling BCB's allegations of child sexual abuse by Bill Neal made in about 1991. Mr. Hawley's evidence will be that in circumstances where Bill Neal denied any intentional conduct, the rule requiring 2 or more witnesses meant that BCB's allegations could not be proven according to the scriptures. Ultimately, Bill Neal's removal as an elder was recommended by Mr. Hawley and Mr. Jackson because BCB's allegations had cast a cloud over Bill Neal's qualifications. Following Bill Neal's removal, he continued to attend meetings and was not placed on any specific restrictions. Documents will be tendered which show that the elders considered the spirituality and the seductiveness of the complainant in determining the complaint. Doug Jackson served as a circuit overseer in Western Australia between 1990 and 1998. The Royal Commission will hear evidence regarding Mr. Jackson's involvement in the Judicial Committee hearing into the allegations against Bill Neal during his visit to the Narragain congregation in early 1992. Mr. Jackson will give evidence regarding his recommendation that Bill Neal no longer met the scriptural qualifications for serving as an elder. Notwithstanding Bill Neal's admission to improper conduct, a document will be tendered which shows that in the same letter that recommends his removal as an elder, Mr. Jackson recommends that Bill Neal be reappointed, quote, once this has died down and it appears that Brother Neal again has the freedom of speech. Joe Bello has served as an elder since 1991. The Royal Commission will hear evidence regarding Mr. Bello's involvement in providing shepherding care and assistance to BCB during visits to her family in 2012, following BCB's disclosure of Bill Neal's abuse. Mr. Bello will give evidence that he did not intend to discourage BCB from approaching the Royal Commission.
Gracias por ver. Y en la parte 3 vamos a ver el caso de BCG o BCG. Y vamos a ver los datos destacados de ese caso también en la parte 3. Muchas gracias por ver este video y gracias por ver y venir de nuevamente. Chao.